Hello, this is Jo, and welcome to another astrology podcast video. Thank you so much for coming to listen. Today, we're discussing the upcoming new moon in Pisces, which is occurring on the 28th of February at 9 degrees and 40 minutes of the sign of Pisces. So this is a very Piscean time we're currently moving through, if you haven't heard, and we're certainly edging conspicuously into the really bright, forthright, very different from Pisces, Aries energy. However, this new moon feels like a very quiet, secluded, healing area to feel into here amongst any of the more intense energies that you've been experiencing in terms of big transitions and releasing, self-embodiment, the ending of illusions and cycles, and the beginning of living in a new authenticity and potency. This is a significant time. And I've spoken about this in many of my other podcast videos. So working with this new moon in a way that is loving, that is healing, that connects you to both your authentic self in your own real world, but also that connects you to your higher knowing and your soul self, are themes and energies that are really available at this new moon in Pisces here. So the new moon, of course, is when both the sun and moon are in the same sign on the same degree, which emphasizes the energy and themes of that sign, which is Pisces here, of course. This is the stage in the lunar cycle when the light of the moon is entirely hidden from our point of view on Earth, and it is the initiation point of the entire lunar cycle. It is where things begin, in the darkness, in the way that the full moon is the time that things culminate, come to fruition, release, and shine in the light. This at the new moon is a very vast, empty, void energy. And this works pretty well with Pisces because Pisces is that liminal space of both endings and beginnings. So this is the time to set those intentions, plant those seeds, because the way is clear for something to grow and bloom at the new moon. So if you see the new moon as the womb of where seeds are sown, the unconscious flicker of an idea, a creation. So you can then see the full moon as the birthing of those ideas, seeds, plans, etc. And then after the full moon is that journey of integrating what has transpired. So at the new moon, as I said, there is no light. It is dark. So things may feel confused, like you're in the dark, like you're stepping into the unknown or writing on a blank slate. And this can feel disorienting. This can also feel quite freeing, depending on your situation. It is a merging of energies, though, too. The sun is your consciousness, your ego spirit essence, merges with the moon, which is your subconscious emotions and needs, your soul essence, as it were. And here in Pisces, it is an opportunity to feel into what you know your soul is calling to. And that kind of sounds like a very worn-in, open phrase. But Pisces is about your spirituality, your higher knowing, your higher self, high love, unconditional love. And right now, you may just want to retract your energy away from everything and everyone and just curl up and be in your own bubble, because the real world, life out there, is too big, too loud, too confronting to face up to for this part of you that just wants to live in that flowing, loving state of bliss. And Pisces is calm, and it can feel difficult to remain calm at this time because of the potentially confronting, or at least the significant things that you're experiencing. So this new moon, which is actually occurring away from the degree points that all of the rest of these big Piscean shifts are occurring, this could allow you to reconnect with your calm, if nothing else. And it can be a time to rebuild that energy up again so that you have the fortitude, strength, and energetic boundaries to be able to do your own life in the way that you feel most empowered to do. And it's no longer going to feel confronting. It will feel exciting. And this initiation point of the new moon in this cycle, it's initiating also eclipse season. Yay! So in the next lunation, following from and connected to this new moon, is the Virgo full moon on the 14th of March, which is a lunar eclipse. So this now is an opportunity to settle into trust, faith, hope that everything that is now probably already in motion for you, or if not, it will be very soon. Everything rushing by, shifting, sifting, transitioning, uncertain, unknown, everything, it will be for your highest good. And it will be for your highest good in the way that you align it consciously to your highest good. So, in other words, this new moon could be the beginning of a new connection to the whole, your life as a whole, your being as a whole energetic being. Even being able to look at something as a whole, feel something as part of a whole, whether that's a situation, a relationship, a mindset, whatever that is. And this is going to be linked to that full moon lunar eclipse in 2 weeks in Virgo, where things are really coming to a head and the changes and transitions are going to be kind of like a domino effect. And the opportunity at this new moon is to settle into yourself before any of these big shifts really gain more traction. So this is an initiation point that can give you a glimpse of what all of this really means, whatever this is for you, whatever you're moving through right now. And you can use this new moon to get in touch with your divinity, spirituality, your soul, inner knowing, higher knowing, whatever that means to you. An opportunity to connect you to the subconscious emotional world, which has always been part of your life and is now ready to level up by dissolving what no longer serves your true essence. And as I said, after this new moon, we get the ball rolling. We've got that total lunar eclipse. We've got Neptune entering Aries, which is a massive deal that I'm explaining over on my Patreon. Go and check it out if you're interested. We have Saturn in May entering Aries, and all of this is alongside both Mercury and Venus traversing this crossover point of Pisces to Aries that Neptune and Saturn are crossing. And this is all on the world axis point, a cardinal degree that reflects wider world changes. So all of this is massive in and of itself. And that's not even touching on that second half of eclipse season. And then we've got Uranus and Jupiter changing signs as well. If all of that made little to no sense to you, as I said, I'm discussing all of this on my Patreon in further detail if you would like more elucidation on this. But suffice to say that this beginning point, it's not dramatic or loud or confronting. Like all of these transitions that we're already shifting towards is going to feel like. It's going to feel big and loud and dramatic. But this new moon is also, it's almost like it's saying that the universe, source, higher self, soul, whatever you gravitate towards, it's almost saying that you've got this. Take a breath now, connect to your bliss, connect to your divinity, whatever that means for you, and set the intention to bring that forward with you. This can feel like stepping off the plank into the waters below and not knowing what's there. This could be like the energy of abandoned ship. This may be the energy of whatever you're moving into next has to be better than what you're leaving behind. And it may not be easy or without struggle. But with the upcoming energy shifting us into Aries, it will be authentically and potently you, the real you. And it may not probably feel steady at first. And this may be where you could be feeling that fear of the abyss, of vagueness and uncertainty. And this is where having that understanding and unconditional love for yourself is crucial. And that is the big one for Pisces and Neptune, the ruler of Pisces, which is the one shifting signs into Aries. It's important to acknowledge also that there is suffering in the world. There are people and energies in strife, in pain and turmoil. Pisces reminds us of having compassion for all. And that includes having compassion for yourself, not excluding yourself from the whole. Healing starts from within. That's where it all begins. So you can utilize this new moon to really, truly feel that love and compassion, firstly for yourself, before being able to extend it healthily to others and to the world. This can be the very strong need to rest your energies, to be able to connect them, revitalize your energies by feeling what you need to feel, giving yourself the space and time to do that. And this can help you to trust more in yourself and in the path that you are traveling. Also, this is a beautiful time to enjoy your imagination and creativity, enjoy tuning into your spirituality, whatever that means for you. So take this time to relax, if possible, to detox and clear yourself physically and emotionally, energetically, whatever feels right for you. To feel the bliss, to feel in tune, to be ready with trust for what your soul has chosen for you to experience at this very important juncture. So I've circled the new moon in pink on the left-hand side there, as well as the two aspects that I'll be touching on. If you would like to have a look at the chart, it's not necessary. I'll be going through everything anyway. But if you did want to have a look, I've done it pretty in pink for Pisces. So the first thing that I will touch on here is that the ruler of Pisces is Neptune. So this new moon is, of course, linked to that upcoming shift of Neptune from Pisces into Aries, which I've already spoken about. This is occurring at the end of March. Neptune is currently in a conjunction to the North Node and therefore is opposing the South Node in Virgo there, which is why I really detailed the call of the divine, the soul, having healthy boundaries to your love and compassion, to have a healthy sense of empathy, as well as releasing unhealthy ways of being that don't serve your progression or your higher good, your higher purpose. Setting an intention for some healthy habits on any or all levels can be a really good way to work with this lunation because of this nodal association here. So keeping your body clean inside and out is directly linked to having a clear energy field, mindset, emotions, etc. So that detox and cleanse that I touched on before in terms of keeping that energetic space free for you to choose what to absorb, for you to choose what to bring into your life. You can't take on anymore if your energetic field, your body, your emotions, your mentality is already overrun with too many things. So really detoxing, cleansing, clearing, decluttering can be a really good way to utilize this nodal association with the new moon here. The new moon is also in an aspect to Jupiter, and it's a square aspect, so it's a bit difficult, but it's interesting that Jupiter is the co-ruler of Pisces, so the old ruler, the traditional ruler before Neptune was discovered and given rulership of Pisces. So it's interesting that it is aspecting this lunation. So it's actually the closest aspect we have in terms of orb. So this aspect is the square, it's pokey, it's pointy, it has corners that you can bump into. Jupiter is now at 12 degrees of Gemini. It is occupying the other sign in the zodiac, which deals with duality, two sides, two choices, black and white, up and down. So Jupiter in Gemini has been expanding our connections with disparate facets, socially, mentally, breaching gaps in communication, what have you. He's also been giving us oodles of information, too much stimulation, all of the ideas all at once, big talk, big ideas. Jupiter is now direct, so there could be some forward momentum or progress in terms of connecting the dots and making good decisions. There's still a lot of factors and details in the works here to consider, which is what this square could be reflecting. Some of the uncertainty of what to choose, what information is useful, what even is real or not real, viable, not viable. And the reality is that nothing can be certain yet. But Jupiter, even in a hard aspect, because the square is one of the quote unquote hard aspects, still brings the opportunity because he's one of the benefics in astrology. So it could be showing us an opportunity here that maybe we can't quite reach. And in Gemini, it's the facts, the details, the networks, the answers, it's clear communications. These are the things that may seem difficult to grasp right now. but it is also what we need to be conscious of. And because Jupiter is the co-ruler of this lunation, it's important to defer to what he's showing us here. So even if you don't know the facts, knowing your inner compass and trusting that is important. So the information, the words and ideas, the plans, they are part of this new moon, new beginning. And there could be some difficulty in reaching a conclusion or knowing how to proceed with the particulars and knowing how to integrate this into your day-to-day movements. With this strong Pisces energy, by going within and trusting that inner compass, that intuition can really be the only sure thing to lean into at this time, because words may not be true, facts may be hidden, duplicity is a possibility. So the point is that it is important to be aware that the facts or what you now believe about information or the details, what you're hearing, what you're reading as truth, all of this may well be transient or illusory and or will shift or mutate very soon with this connection to the void of this new moon in Pisces. So do not expect information to last very long before changing. And it's interesting here to be reconsidering some belief systems, reconsidering your belief systems around the information and stimulation that you're currently absorbing. Take however that lands. So the ruler of Jupiter in Gemini is Mercury, and Mercury is in Pisces as well. So we have mutual reception here between these two again. So maybe this is about communicating with your inner self and higher self to get the answers. Again, that's trusting that inner voice, that higher knowing, having faith in your intuition to know what feels good and what doesn't, what just feels off. And you may be surprised, something that never felt off for you before could be starting to feel misaligned now that you're changing so much. So trust that as well. And don't attempt to force answers, because with all this Pisces energy, the answers will only arrive at the right timing, which probably won't be now. And this is frustrating. This is frustrating in general. It's frustrating for Jupiter and Gemini especially, but the Piscean energy reminds us to settle in the intuition, keep the patience and understanding for the journey, for the process, and especially for what is ending and passing away. And then we have this trine to Mars as well. So Mars is pretty much still stationary on the degree that he stationed direct on the 24th of February in the sign of Cancer. And he remains on this degree, the 17 degrees of Cancer, for quite a few more days. So for all intents and purposes, he's still pretty much standing still. This is a Mars that did not particularly feel comfortable going retrograde. And he also doesn't particularly standing still either, because Mars is action, movement, initiation, going. So in this stationary state, it makes Mars and this degree very powerful indeed. So that's why I'm kind of including it here in this reading, even though it's around an 8-degree orb, which is the maximum that we kind of tend to use at a stretch. But he is just calling out for some attention here, so I'm going to give it to him. So the ripples of this emotional journey since December is potent now at this new moon still. This is a turning point because he's turning direct. The turning point in having a strong emotional will and drive, a healthy emotional will and drive, as well as now having a strong respect for your emotions through what has been activated or triggered and dealt with in this long Mars retrograde period. So whatever memories, history, family patterning, emotional trauma, emotional reflexes that have been brought up, if it's been unpleasant, quite possibly it has, this has all been lending to a sense of a really strong emotional sense of power here, knowing your emotions better. And this isn't to gloss over this at all or to make light of it or to even be having a toxic positivity, which can seem to be the case with these highly idealistic and dreamy Pisces themes that are getting bandied about. But this emotional journey is prevalent, and it is definitely strengthening how you are now being almost required to really trust in those emotions through what you've learned, when all else at this time does seem very confused. And Mars in Cancer, of course, has strong emotions, raw survival emotions. And because this is a trine aspect here to this new moon, this is a strength. This is the archetype of the fierce mother, the warrior mother energy, regardless of your gender. It's very protective, very nurturing. And this could be fortifying your ability to feel and trust your emotions right now. And most importantly, to accept your instincts, connect and accept to your instincts and to go with them. And Mars likes to go, Mars likes to act, and acting at all right now may not be possible, but at least with decisions and discernment, your instincts can be strongly guiding you, and go with them. That's what Mars is saying. So the Pisces new moon, it's dreamy, it's loving, it's very potentially quite healing as well. So any sense of overwhelm, loss, confusion here, it really can be soothed by trusting that inner knowing, higher knowing, by tapping into what you know is meant for you to direct yourself towards, even if it isn't fully clear yet, or even if it doesn't quite seem possible yet. Trusting your instincts to guide you is vital, and having that healthy, energetic, and emotional boundary is vital as well. And that unconditional love and acceptance in Pisces for yourself, for your journey and the path ahead, is really the prevalent theme here. Pisces is high love, and Neptune in Pisces, the ruler of this lunation, is highest unconditional love. And so moving forward into Aries here with Neptune at the end of March, it's unconditional self-love that we will be stepping into. So this is almost like a practicing time to really tap into that, to give yourself the strength to continue to move forward through whatever you're moving through. And this is overall at this time a peaceful time, even if it is a bit misty or foggy. So rest and retract as required, because Pisces is like that sponge. It can absorb all of the energies in the room, all of the energies in the world. And it is a gift, but sometimes a curse when you don't have those strong boundaries. And Pisces does need to have that time alone to re-energize. So it might be a good time for you to disconnect from all of the disparate energies around you to be able to reconnect to your true authentic self. Moving on to the tarot here, I am using the Heartwood Tarot by Stephanie Burrows and Adam Ohlers. It certainly has a vaguely dreamy and also murky tone to it, but it also does follow this journey of a little mouse and its encounters with all of the other animals. And Pisces does rule the wild and wild animals, wild places, the untamed nature. And so the untamed cottage that is central to this deck, which has been reclaimed by the wild, it felt quite appropriate to these Pisces energies. And I just love using this deck as well. So again, this is the Heartwood Tarot by Stephanie Burrows, illustrated by Adam Ohlers. So this card is the High Priestess card. It is numbered 2 in the major arcana. So already we have the energies reflecting duality here. The High Priestess signals a time to give sovereignty to your intuition and allow it to lead the way, which is very fitting for the Pisces energies here as well. What I've said about trusting that inner self. This can be an invitation to open to your subconscious to see what's really there, to glean the wisdom from within. The High Priestess teaches, after all. There is a little scroll here in this wren's beak. So she initiates or inducts you into this world of profound darkness and profound spiritual enlightenment. So this is certainly about tuning into the mystery of your own inner worlds, your subconscious, to tap into a deep well of knowledge here. And it can also double as a nod to the higher realms of energy, God, Goddess, Source, the universe, what have you, whatever you resonate most with, and the power that that energy holds as well. So this wren has a tiny little wren crown on its head. So that certainly reflects the power and personal authority that this knowledge can give you. This is also a card of mystery and even mystique, the shadow realms and things that live on the edge of reality, like dreams, symbols, spirits. So this also works well with that Pisces energy. In fact, the astrological association with the High Priestess is actually the moon, I believe. So there you go, some more validation of these themes and energies, really tapping into what this new moon can teach you. So what you may be seeking here, because the High Priestess is about knowledge, wisdom, truth, inspiration, answers, learning, what you may be either seeking to begin or step into, or even to know what you're yearning for, which is a very Pisces word, yearn. This can be explored through tuning your antenna inwards. So this is the sifting of light from dark, hot from cold, sifting through all of the gray area, the fog within, the duality and opposing forces within. This must be opened and explored to enable you to take flight. I mean, this is a little bird here, wrens fly. So this wren, I think, it represents the uncanny ability to use intuitive intelligence for gain and for enlightenment. And this is really to enable your inner knowledge to lift you up from the fogginess here, which is really linking back to what I said before of allowing your intuition and your instincts and that inner compass to really guide you through anything that is uncertain at this time. So seeking soul guidance can feel strong here. These tides may not feel particularly navigable alone. Follow the signs, follow the messages you're receiving. Reach out to someone who perhaps embodies this High Priestess archetype for you, a wisdom keeper, a teacher, someone or something that is both perspicacious and objective. Or it could be a time for you to embody all of these archetypes for yourself. So honor your wisdom, honor your intuition, honor what lies beneath the surface, what subconscious patterning you have, your psychological complex. That it's made you who you are, and it has taught you and it's led you. Honor that. Now it is time to be conscious of these things and to utilize that knowing and power in a way that's channeling towards your highest good. And with Pisces, it's a dissolving, it's an ending and a letting go. So this I'm really getting is being aware of these things to be able to let go of them. You can't release something that you don't know you have. And if something is ruling you from beneath, this can be a beautiful time to gently explore what's there to enable you to release it. And I'm just getting here. Okay. Pick the fruit. Take a bite. Know good from evil. Know the taste of the underworld, your underworld, because it is how you integrate it and how it makes you wise. Instead of burying it to lurk beneath the surface, to unconsciously project it onto your life as fears and sabotage. That's what the pomegranates just told me. I speak pomegranate now. One last thing about this card before I sign off. So this huge bowl of the pomegranates, it's like a bowl of the forbidden fruits. So Persephone, goddess of spring in ancient Greek mythology, ate 6 seeds of a pomegranate whilst in the underworld, and because of this, she was bound to remain there for 6 months of the year. So symbolically, she tasted, felt, knew the underworld, and because of this, she was forever changed. And she became queen of the underworld. And there are similarities in this tale and the tale of Eve and the apple. The apple's back again. It's popped up in a few other astro podcasts of mine if you've been following along. But I just get the phrase here that paradise is a fantasy if it isn't whole. I mean, look at the wallpaper on this card. It's peeling to reveal the foundations beneath. What's really there? under the surface. So you can incorporate what is hidden here, what is lurking, what you feel is tugging at you to stay in the shadows, remain in the fog, remain in illusion even. And it's time to learn about this fog, to clear the weather, to see clearly, to have access to the place that this fog comes from, but without being consumed by it, by being enlightened and enriched by it. And fog, by the way, is my metaphor for the shadow, the hidden realms of your subconscious. So this Ren here, as the high priestess, I mean, she's a queen. She's got a little crown. She's proud. She's queen of the pomegranates, queen of wisdom and integration and the magic of this. This is a rich place of the unconscious, and it can be what takes you forward with passion and with magic. And this can be your imagination, your dreams, your art, your creativity as well. All those Piscean things that put you in touch with the divine through tapping into that divine spark within you. So you can open up to these spiritual energetic realms within you at this time with strength and with trust. And that is kind of what the High Priestess card is saying here. So, all right. I mean, considering there were only 2 aspects to this lunation, I've been rambling on for quite a while. So thank you if you made it this far. I hope this video has resonated with you and was helpful. If you'd like to hear more from me, I have a Patreon for more insights into the astrology and how you can work with it. So until next time, enjoy the enchanting energies of the Pisces new moon on the 28th of February. Bye for now.